Hey guys, welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast. My name's Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And on today's episode, what movie are we going to be discussing, buddy?
We are covering 2012's VHS.
VHS is a found footage anthology, which, when I originally watched it, was out of this world.
Yeah.
What would you like to let the fans know, buddy?
As always, like and subscribe on YouTube.
Pretty please.
We are also available on Google, Spotify, Anchor, and Apple.
Yes.
You can find us on Instagram, J Squared Horror Podcast, link tree in the bio. New episodes every Thursday.
Every Thursday, we try our best to bring you guys a horror podcast like no other. A lot of people out there go over reviews. They just kind of go over the movie. We said, screw that. We are going to do it the J Squared Horror way, where we just, as best friends, decide to sit here in front of the cameras and on these microphones for you fans. And we basically just want you guys to argue along with us and kind of talk about horror movies.
Yeah.
Podcasts are meant to be kind of like open communication platforms for people to express their love or their ideas on things. And that's what we do here on the J Squared Horror Podcast. So with that being said, VHS 2012. It is an amazing concept. When I originally watched it, it honestly blew my mind. However, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, Josh, anymore.
Okay. Why not?
I think when I watched this, do you remember how we were talking about Urban Legend?
Yeah.
And how you were like, oh, wait, I think it was the second one that I like more. I think I might have literally set myself up this time to be you. Because I watched this. And, like, of course I got the first one right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
that's the most popular
the succubus,
yeah.
you know. Hannah Fierman, who I met at Scarefest.
I remember.
Yeah, I was like giddy because I was like, dude, I saw you fully naked. Now you're like just here hanging out. It was crazy. I'd never seen it that way. You know what I mean? Like usually you meet a girl clothed and then you see her naked. This time it was opposite. It was weird. Which, hey, you know, if you guys ever experience that, you'll know what I'm talking about. Honestly, dude, that's the only one of these VHS stories that I remembered like completely.
Okay. I mean, that seems pretty common to me because that's the most infamous one. It had its own spin-off movie.
Did it?
Siren.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which also has her in it.
Hannah Fierman, yeah.
I feel
yeah.
like it.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah. It's crazy because I'm pretty sure when I watched this, it was probably like 2017, 2018 time frame.
Okay.
So obviously a couple years after it came out, it was pretty readily available on Netflix at the time. Yeah. Now you have to like rent it.
Yeah, it was always on Netflix.
Yeah, it was on Netflix for years, and I think like 2 through 4 or 3 are free, but for some reason the first one you have to like either get a free subscription or pay for it. I think he paid for it. I did a free subscription through Amazon Prime. I got 6 more days to cancel that though. I gotta remember. But yeah, it's interesting because I'm a big fan of anthologies. I think we both are very big fans of anthologies.
Definitely am.
Now the difference between me and you, the big difference is I'm a big found footage film guy, but you are not.
I hate it.
Yeah, so the thing that kind of irritated me about what I didn't remember is I'm pretty sure when I watched it, I watched 1 and 2 back to back, like one entire movie, because it was like an all night thing. I was literally expecting other stories that didn't exist in this film
From part 2.
From part 2, I guess, which really bummed me out. Because those were the better stories. Obviously, they figured out some things they must have done wrong in 1 and been like, yeah, this is what we need to do in 2. I don't know. Like, what do you think?
I usually do not have such strong opinions on movies.
Okay. But do you have a very strong one?
This movie is dog shit.
Dog shit.
Yeah. This movie is not good.
No story.
So just like you, when seeing it before, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Watching it again, this movie is fucking trash.
I really wish, because I know a lot of our fans like when we like disagree and we can argue back and forth.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck, I'm sorry, but I agree.
Yes.
Other than the first story, which, you know, it's, I think, more or less because it's one of the most memorable VHS tapes.
Well, I think it's because it's the best one.
It is one of the best ones, other than some of the ones in part two.
Well, from part one.
From part one, it's hands down.
That's why it got its own movie.
The best one, because oof. So let's see here.
Dude, just the creepiness in her face when she goes, I like you.
That's what she signed my picture.
Yeah.
She said, I like you, Josh. And I was like, very careful, lady. I like you too. It's so funny though. So if I could just, since the movie sucks, I'll tell you guys a fun little story. When I met Hannah Fierman, I didn't know how old she was. Obviously she's an adult because she was fully nude in this movie. But I was like crushing hard.
I know.
And it's funny because like Jake didn't give two shits.
I really
like
didn't.
I went up to her when Jake was like maybe in the bathroom or like doing, I think he was getting a picture. Oh, it was when you were getting the picture with the girl from Friday the 13th part.
Oh yeah, which
final chapter.
She also fucking
Friday the 13th part, final chapter. Yeah. So Jake was doing that, and she had no line. You know, because it was slow at the time, I guess.
Which speaks for itself.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, though, like her succubus and like, or whatever she is, what the beast that she is, like those guys, the guys that died deserved it. Like they were shitty dudes.
Yeah, they were all.
They were those. Shit. They were those. Just, I guess, like early '90s, 2000s, just shitty dudes that just like, yeah, we're gonna party with these girls and take them back to the hotel with our POV glasses and record it all.
Yeah, that's very, I think, on brand for that era and a little before that era.
And I do not agree with it at all. No. Like that's definitely not something. And a couple times I panicked during this movie because we have our rules. We have very strict rules.
Yeah, if the way that starts,
dude,
is leading up to.
I was like, I'm gonna have to call Jake.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna have to be like, dude, theme, like, like I panicked and like it. I mean, they do it well, I think, because like it doesn't actually happen, and the person that would have been the victim comes out the victor, which is the monster. Which in that aspect, I think that's why the Hannah Fierman one is so good, because even though like she's like, I like you, to the guy with the glasses on, like there's a very I don't know how to explain this scene. She realizes that he's not into her because she tried something, and that really sets her off.
Which I feel like was set off any woman, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like if you're into somebody and they can't quite perform, it's not
gonna set you off.
It's not gonna go the best way, especially when you ate a couple people already. But in his defense, though, he did just break his wrist. He saw a couple friends get eaten. Like, I don't know if you're at peak performance.
That's 100% why.
It's like, you know, it's like he's like, I'm sorry, you know.
Yeah.
And then he runs, and then they have the whole she's got wings and like flying, and then like drops them or something.
Dude, the whole. I'm glad I didn't eat prior to watching this movie because all the fucking.
Oh, you get motion, motion sickness.
What is this?
Yeah, and like, you know, that's like a POV glasses. Like for the most part of the first one, it's okay until like the last couple parts.
Yeah, until that last scene.
Well, no, I'd say before that when he's like freaking out and hiding. And then also, so I was watching this movie with my sister. You know my sister.
I do.
Yeah, she's a part of the podcast. She's in the background of our podcast. She's great. Jenny, big shout out to you. Thanks for sitting and watching this amazing movie with your little brother. But even then, like, why would you keep fucking hiding in the bathroom? It's in the same fucking room.
Yeah, that's not good.
Run out that front door, dude. Like, she's busy eating people. Go.
He eventually did, but
after hiding behind the mattress for a little bit, like, dude, I'm booking out of there. Once she rips his junk off, the one dude, I'm out. I'm not. Yeah. There's no way I'm gonna hide for a little bit longer.
I agree.
So that's the first story, and that's the best part of the movie, guys. So if you watch the first 20, 30 minutes of this movie, you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, it goes downhill from there.
And then you get a couple of... so also, you have the shittiest main people that are watching these tapes, because basically what this is a group of really terrible guys that just like, oof, that was also a bad part.
Yeah.
The parking garage.
They grabbed that lady.
Yeah, they grabbed the lady. Also, another reason why I was very, very timid on covering this. So we won't go into full detail on what happens, but these guys are pieces of shit. And one of the guys gets a job to break into a house and find a particular tape, which they do. They find what they appear to be a dead guy, and then different characters from that will watch these particular films that we're talking about.
Which that premise makes no sense.
It doesn't. I was okay with it when I first watched it, because like when you come back from the Hannah Fierman one, like the guy that was sitting in front of the camera is now gone, and it's just like, cool, like he's gone. And then another guy comes up, puts tape in, and then you watch the second story. And I think the second story is the couple, correct?
Dude, that one is so boring.
That's the couple one, right? On the trip?
Yeah.
So it's a couple. They're on a trip. There's somebody recording them while they sleep. And you're like, okay. That's kind of creepy. Like, you found that kind of creepy, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So you got
They're sleeping.
They're sleeping. Imagine being in a hotel in like Arizona, and you're with your fiance, husband, whatever it is. And, you know, then you get recorded while you're sleeping. And then, you know, he blames her for stealing some money. She's like, no, it wasn't me. And then,
which is fucked up to do.
That was a very uncomfortable scene.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like, I'd say the acting in that, like as shitty as this was, like that was the best acting in that part, was because like, he's like, I had $100 and it's not here. And she's like, what are you talking about? But like when she's talking on the camera, like even watching it, and you know that like the would-be killer is the one that took the money, like you hear her and you're like, I don't believe you either.
Wasn't that guy in You're Next?
I don't know. I think so.
I think
he did look very familiar.
Yeah, I know, if I remember correctly, the second one was directed by Ty West, who was in You're Next.
And who has done big things now.
Yeah, he did X.
Yeah, he's doing the whole
Pearl.
The trilogy that's coming up.
Yeah, and for you to do such great things now, this one you did?
You got to start somewhere.
Dog shit.
But basically, what happens is he gets killed, which is I mean, she damn near the killer damn near cuts his head off while he's asleep. It's intense. What's crazy is like that makeup and Hannah Fierman's makeup in the first one, like some of that stuff is really really good. But then it's like you cut to a bathroom and the killer and the wife are making out.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah, it's like so that particular story, for whatever reason, me personally, I didn't consider like horror.
I didn't either.
It's like Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
Just the worst case scenario.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, I don't know. I didn't like it.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan.
I wasn't either. And let's see. What would be the third one? The third one is... Just watched this last night.
Is the third one the one about the campsite?
Oh, the glitchy camera. I'm pretty sure that's the third one.
I'm pretty sure it is. It was like Tuesday the 17th or something like that.
Which would have been?
Which is like 4 days after Friday the 13th.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's a cheap ripoff. And the shitty thing about that, so there's certain things that I don't appreciate in horror movies. And it's the overutilization of the whole, I know it's going to be weird, but like, like I get it. I've seen tits in every fucking one of these movies.
Yeah.
And then you get these group of teenagers, so you're immediately like, okay, this is going to be cheap ripoff of a camp slasher.
Which you figure from the name.
Yeah.
And from just the setting.
Yeah. It's a group of 4 who go to a lake, not Crystal Lake, so that's cool, where I guess the girl had some friends get murdered, But there's a part where they're like kind of just being like friends, and they're obviously recording it because it's a found footage film, where she looks at the cameraman, which would be one of her friends, and says, "You are all going to die here." And he's like, "What?" I would not handle that situation as casually.
Also, that's not something you say, "What?" to. You're like,
okay,
let's leave.
I'm gone. You can stay here.
Yeah, on your own.
But I guess the young, hungry, if you will, male wasn't going to leave his opportunity to potentially get what he wanted out of the situation, which any, young male can understand. But everything was okay until the killer. So, like, we're on camera right now. Imagine our camera started glitching out, and then some, like, shadowy figure, which looks like he could have potentially been wearing, like, a pumpkin head, but it was just, like, a beanie, just, like, glitched out the camera and started killing people. Because the first kill is the blonde and the nerd, and she's like, "I'm going to show you something nobody's ever seen before." And I'm like, "Oh, great. Here comes some boobies."
Yeah.
And then she just gets stabbed through the back of the head through the eyeball.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, my God, look at your eye." And I'm like, okay, first of all, you just saw nothing kill her.
Yeah.
And you're just going to go up to her and be like, "Oh, my God, look at your eye." And then he falls down and gets killed. So you want to talk about the worst makeup / CGI probably in this movie is this particular VHS.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's terrible. It's
bad.
Every bit of Bad Candy, everything that I hated about the CGI and Bad Candy in this. And this is fucking, 8 years prior.
Yeah.
It's bad. He gets stabbed in the head a couple of times. And like just the fact that they make it seem like stabbing through a skull would be that easy really irritates me. And then you got the main girl and the other guy, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm just, all my friends died here, and like my friend bashed her head on that wall that I showed you guys." And I'm like, this, like, nothing is intriguing me at all. I give zero shits.
It was very boring. The friend group was boring.
And then she's like, "Let me blank you," and like trying to like do that, and then like
he's like,
"Nah, like." Where are my friends at? Like, and now I'm starting to feel for the guy that I hated since the beginning of this. Why do that?
The one thing, and it's kind of super crazy. The one thing I noticed about this guy, he had like a burgundy V-neck.
Yeah.
It was the most wrinkled shirt.
Yeah, no type of ironing
I have ever seen.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I do. Jake won't leave the house without breaking out the iron. Even if like we're going to just hang out and he throws on some joggers and a tee, my man breaks out an iron every time. So he's gonna notice the wrinkly shirts first. And I've kind of been a little self-conscious hanging out with Jake if my shirts are a little wrinkly. So he's gonna notice the burgundy wrinkle shirt guy.
When I first saw him, you should die.
And then he gets I think the worst neck slice I have ever seen in a horror movie. It's 2.5 inches. It squirts out some CGI blood. He supposedly dies while she runs off and booby traps this invisible killer. And then he gets him staked, like the killer thing, like caught in a trap. And then he magically is walking through the woods with his 2-inch cut neck.
Yeah, because
barely any blood on him.
It's only 2 inches. It barely cut him.
Yeah, but he fell out like a little punk.
Yeah, because the blood loss.
And if you guys listen to the last episode, I'm a big fan of realistic neck wounds. And the guy in Hush did a really good job of like still trying to fucking, power through and be a man.
Yeah, he did.
So like, now that I got Hush in my head, this is trash, man. Like, God, dude, this what third movie VHS is so bad.
Yeah,
it was done so poorly. And it was Ty West? T-West? How do you say it?
Ty West.
Ty West.
Yeah. So my question is, it's an anthology series, correct?
Which technically means it should tie all stories somehow into one.
So I wasn't sure if I was like dumb and like didn't see how they all tied in.
That's easy.
How they all tie in?
Because they're watching the VHSs while breaking into the house.
Yeah, but
that's it.
How does that tie them on together?
That's all it takes. Because it all happened in their reality. Because they're just home videos.
So in my mind, when going back to the second one, when dude said a chick knocked on the door
Yeah.
and wanted a ride, in my mind, it was the chick from the first one.
Should have been.
Yeah. So that would start tying it all together.
You saying the succubus should have come back to the second one? Yeah.
So
Okay.
That would start to tie on together.
Yeah. How would you attach to the third one?
So we're going to go to the fourth one now.
What's the fourth one?
The fourth one is the dude and the chick had like a bump on her arm or whatever.
Oh, the ghost.
So are they ghosts or aliens?
None of the above. They're actors and actresses. I don't know, dude.
It's just a movie, folks.
But whoa, okay, but like, so it gives you. I don't know if you guys have seen in like 2018, 19, maybe 2020. It was post COVID, so probably 2020. There's this really good movie that not a lot of people like, but I love, called Host.
It did remind me of Host. Okay.
Which, honestly, Host shits all over this little story. So,
Have you ever seen Unfriended?
yes, I have actually.
Okay.
Yeah, very same vibe.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All of those like using technology, seances and stuff like that.
Hated it.
I think there's a like a Ouija one that uses computers or something. I don't know, but anyway. So yeah, it's this girl. Once again, pointless boobs. Yep, there we go. I said it. I'm sorry. I don't like pointless boobs. This guy and this girl on what would be a Zoom call, I would take it.
Yeah.
2012, pre-FaceTime, I do believe, before FaceTime was really a big thing, and obviously they're on computers. This girl is having issues in her apartment or house, whatever it is, of hearing things day, night, whatever. And the boyfriend, you think is the boyfriend, they've supposedly known each other for their entire lives. And always have like been together, but like not technically together, because like he's always like out of state or something. And she's like complaining about certain things, and then like you see this little kid. Now, you guys probably know this. Any fans of the podcast know I hate kids. First and foremost, I hate ghost kids probably more than actual children. So they do one good part where they got me a little bit. Even though I'd already seen it because I forgot these stories even existed. Mm-hmm. Where when the first time you see the ghost-like creature, it runs in the door and then out the door in her camera, and it's a little kid. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm done.
Yeah, and it shuts the door.
Shuts the door. He's like, yo, can you shut up? He's like trying to play Legos or some shit. Yeah. I don't know. It shouldn't have been as scary as it was for me, but kids scare me.
I think right afterwards where they're talking,
yeah,
the fact that he said it was just the wind.
Yeah, and like you visually saw this kid.
Yeah, what
on her camera?
That's how I knew he got something to do with it.
Oh, you picked up on it a lot quicker than I did.
The wind?
So yeah, Jake just gave up the spoiler, which is fine because there's not much else to talk about in this here particular tape. Yeah. So you find out this part's crazy. She like is doing another little I'm gonna close my eyes and you're gonna let me know what's behind you. Then it's like a whole family. Like a bunch of people.
Yeah.
It went from a kid to a bunch of people. Okay. Red flag number 13. And then you see her pass out, hit the ground. Either she got knocked out or something. I don't necessarily know exactly what happened to her.
He just passed out.
Yeah, she probably passed out from fear. Then he walks in the door.
Like right after. So,
he was that close to where she never heard him talking that loud. Because, like I said, they're talking on cameras, webcams. He's in that room within seconds,
as if he was like
literally in the closet.
Yeah,
not even across the fucking hall, dude. He's like in the closet, and that made no sense to me.
No.
And then he slices her open. Pulls out what looks like a fetus, and is like, we gotta make up a story for this one. And then next scene, she's got a black eye, a sling on. It's like, I can't believe I walked out in the street and got hit by a car.
Is that what you think happened?
How does any of this make sense? You would have had to go into a hospital for the sliced open back. That they somehow removed a child. I mean, maybe I don't understand anatomy as good as I think I do, but there were ribs. And then he just pulls out like a fetus. And then that part cuts off. He gets off the phone with her. And then he's immediately on a phone call with another girl.
Yeah.
Stupid boobs again. End of movie.
Yeah, I don't get what his angle was. If he's just raising these weird alien kids or whatever.
Is it like, did he create those girls? Obviously he didn't because they're roughly the same age.
Yeah.
But what's the point in the fetuses? Did he impregnate them?
I would think so.
I mean, you would assume. Is it like demonic stuff?
If not, you're just stealing random babies.
But like they're not, and they're like back babies
But
because it wasn't where a baby should have been.
what does he do with them? Does he feed them to them? Little
I don't even
kids?
remember what he did when he pulled the one. He like handed it to the ghost people.
Yeah,
But honestly, they just look like actors and actresses.
yeah, it was weird.
Was it supposed to be real ghosts? Was it supposed to be fake? Once again, VHS, whoever directed the third, whatever hell movie we're on now. Terrible. Okay, I'm sorry, but it made zero sense.
Yeah.
At least some of the other ones kind of had a start, middle, conclusion. This one was just like, this guy messes with girls because he's just attractive enough to be a doctor. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, that's that one.
So the last one, 10/31.
Is this the last one? That's the last one, isn't it? Yeah. This one starts off pretty well.
You think so?
It's a bunch of, he's got the costume on with the camera in it. It's like a teddy bear, and they're just four homies on a Halloween night in 1990 whatever.
Yeah, 98.
98. They're trying to go to a Halloween party. I don't know where they got this invite.
How do you show up to the wrong house?
I mean, it was before GPSs, so they were just kind of reading a map. They're probably slightly
Yeah,
pre-intoxicated.
but maps have,
Streets
and addresses and
Yeah, it's weird. I did love each of their costumes, though. You had a pirate, you had the Unabomber, you had an army guy, and a teddy bear. What a great group of friends. None of their costumes necessarily went together, but they still rolled together.
They're all very different.
You know what I mean? That's a good group of friends. I'm pretty sure they're driving in, early 90s Toyota Camry. Just saying, all right? We got to shout out the Camrys at all times.
Shout out to Toyota.
Yeah, Toyota's always in the movie. So they go to this house that's supposed to have this epic Halloween party. There are parts of this one that I did enjoy, but like just because of everything else that I was forced to watch in this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, before you go to that, and just what's happening in between.
Yeah, random people disappearing.
Every time they come back, and now the guy in the chair is gone.
Yeah, and you also had like a random naked guy running in the basement.
Yeah, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah, sorry, we forgot about that, guys. But that's
Does it ever go back
that's
to
what
that?
this movie does. No.
That's what I thought.
At the end of the movie, it does one thing, which is you find the decapitated friend with the beanie. He throws the head at him, and then the guy's mouth is all weird, but that's at the very end.
Yeah, but who's that naked guy?
That I don't know.
Just wandering through the
Just
house?
in the basement.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, there's always naked people in basements, right?
Just hanging out.
Yeah. So in this particular story, the one thing I liked is just the fact that they just thought it was a haunted house. That's it. They didn't know what they were getting into. They're like, oh, that's cool. There's like noises. It sounds like a party upstairs. Oh, it's a witch sacrifice or something. And they're like, yo, did you see the hands trying to grab you out of the walls? Like, they just thought it was a haunted house.
No. Real.
There should have been other people there if you thought it was this haunted house.
Dude, they're performing an exorcism.
No, it's a witch hunt, dude.
It seemed like the dudes were trying to exorcise
That lady.
that one lady up there.
Or maybe they were the bad guys.
And now they're trying to be nice in shining armor and take the dudes down. I don't get that.
But then they're like randomly getting picked up even before, like, really, the altercation.
Yeah.
The guys that were performing the said exorcism or seance, whatever it was.
Yeah.
They'll like grab their chest and then just get like yeeted. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
another
snuck a
yeet
yeet in. Just getting like pulled up into the ceilings, and then they were just like gone. And then like they all try to leave, which was the best call. Like they're out the front door, basically, and they're like,
then they go back.
we gotta go back and save her.
No, you don't.
You really don't.
You don't know
You
her.
shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Yeah.
You
shouldn't have been there. You don't know her.
you don't know the circumstances of why this lady's tied up.
Just leave.
Now, I guess as a man, you should try to always protect women. Something was fishy, you know? There's something I just don't trust about this whole situation.
I would agree.
But they decide against the better judgment of me and Jake here, and go all the way back up into the attic, because everything's happening in the attic.
Nope.
They grab the girl. Some other crazy stuff happened. But then there's like these CGI hands coming out of the wall, which you finally see. And like,
were they CGI?
Yeah, pretty sure, bro.
Dude, the hands was crazy to me.
That look real?
Were the best part. They look real to me. The CGI, or the hands coming out the wall, the doors, and when they ran past the door and the window was like closing,
those parts did look.
That was good.
When the window was closing, like completely disappearing.
Yeah, that's good.
What it reminded me of was the House on Haunted Hill 1999 remake, where there's just some random mist coming after them. But honestly, unfortunately, this one did slightly better than that really weird CGI they did in that one. So they carry this girl out of the house, get her into the 1995 Toyota Camry. Then they're driving, lost because, you know, you're trying to read a map. You're all freaked out. Car shuts off, which that's how you know something's up. Toyotas don't just shut off like that. Okay. First of all, we ain't gonna try to talk shit on the Toyota Camrys here.
Yeah, man. As long as you service your vehicle,
get them oil changes, man.
You're good.
You're good. The car shuts off, and they're like, "Oh my god, what's going on? Like, it won't start. It's crazy shit's happening." And then, like, she disappears.
Yeah.
And then reappears out front of the car. Now, mind you, the car won't start, and you find out that they're stuck on a railroad track.
Which was very random.
Very. And then...
The doors won't open.
Yeah. Doors won't open. And the train...
does what trains do.
Keeps going.
And doesn't stop.
Doesn't stop. Trains don't stop for nobody, including 4 guys stuck in a car from a demon lady.
I would think you would break that window and crawl out.
But I think this kind of plays back into what you were saying about 1 and 2. It's like it should have been Hannah Fierman's character tied up in the attic. Like, even if the other 2 necessarily didn't, like if those 3 did, wouldn't it feel more like an anthology for you?
Yeah, so I feel like if we're tying them all together, like you just said, she's the one tied up.
Yeah.
Or in this last one, the dude who got killed in the second one was one of their friends.
Yeah.
And was supposed to meet them at the party, but was going out of town with his wife.
Yeah, yeah. They could have tied it in other ways.
Just tie it. Just somehow.
Honestly, they could have done all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it still would have made sense.
I feel like anthology, to me, I automatically kind of like Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
Which is...
I guess after watching more, it just furthermore proves we're just going to have to cover Trick or Treat soon. Yeah. Trick or Treat's the best anthology that's ever existed.
Yeah, it's just...
For Pete's sake.
I feel like you can do it in just small ways.
Very minuscule ways.
Yeah. It can honestly be just people interacting with each other. Or maybe when they're driving down the street from this house, they come across the dudes who are in the house trying to find the video. Just something to tie it.
Or imagine like if they're all like outside of the car, like even if it wasn't Hannah Fierman's character tied up, and like she's standing outside, but the body of the guy that was wearing the POV glasses landed on the demon lady, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Boom! Everything's somehow tying together. Like Friends, movie, all that shit could have easily, but I think they honestly went with the cheapskate of it just being the fact that they were movies in a house and it all happened in the same universe.
Yeah, but that arc to me doesn't make it an anthology.
Doesn't it give you bad candy vibes?
Yeah, it's not good.
I mean,
it's not good. And the fact that, like I said, Ty West and
they were big.
You got the last one by Radio Silence.
Yeah.
So we all start somewhere.
You have to.
But they could have been executed very differently.
I mean, the fact that 2 guys that just have a podcast just came up with ways to tie it together.
Yeah.
Means that somebody during that process should have been like, you know what? Let's tie this together a little bit better.
We're calling it an anthology. Let's make it an anthology.
Because that's literally what it's a found footage anthology film.
Yeah. It's just the way it ends with the...
Yeah, you end it with the headless guy and the monster mouth. You don't know who lives, who survives, who dies?
No, you don't know why that guy has a monster mouth.
No.
You don't know... Does they ever say who hired them to break into that house?
Nor do you figure out in 2. Like, it never ties fully back together at any point in time. What the fuck happened in this first one?
Which is weird.
Because there's obviously ways, but there's like such great stories in the second one. Way scarier stuff.
Yeah.
Way freakier stuff. There's an alien one. There's a demon baby one. So much better, which I totally thought was in this one. Literally, I'm watching with Jen. I'm like, okay, this is it. All right. Sorry, this is gonna be the alien one, and it's the fucking couple, that lesbian couple that kills the dude. Like, what? That's not even. It's like some Bonnie and Clyde type shit. It's not even horror.
Yeah, it was
like you could have done so much more. Like you said, if it would have been the succubus knocking on the door, and then like came in and ate him, like that would be crazy. And like maybe the girl in the forest was like her little sister. Okay, boom, we're tying shit together.
We're slowly tying it all.
Yeah, but no, it was just random, crazy story.
If you had never seen before, and he says a woman knocked on the door, and it made him uncomfortable, something about her made him uneasy, you would think, okay, it's a chick.
Because when you see Hannah Fierman's character in the first one, she's like, even if you look in the background of the club scene, she's just like sitting there staring at him.
Yeah.
And she looks so weird. And I'm like, you don't see the butt crack going down her forehead, dude? That's a red flag, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a normal, like, beauty mark.
No, it's not.
Like, no. All right, bud. We covered all the stories.
All right.
We talked about how amazing you thought this movie was.
All right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate this anthology?
On a scale from 1 to 10, 2012's VHS
yes, sir,
is a 2.
Nice. I just rated something a 2 recently, and you were surprised. But I gotta say, I 1,000,000% agree with you.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I'm such a big fan of found footage films, and I know a lot of people aren't, but for me, as like what I'm scared of and like the real, like there's just something scary to me about like it seeming like somebody recorded it. But this one just loses it. And I, you know, for people that haven't rewatched it and you're going off of the first time you saw it, before you know, we welcome all arguments and all criticism. Rewatch it before, honestly, because when we talked about this last week after Hush, we were both very pumped to cover this. Like, we were excited. Found footage, VHS, Anthology, like both of our like kind of like obscure horror worlds kind of mash together, because like I'm a big found footage guy, he's a big Anthology guy, and like as much as I am, but it just misses the mark completely, and it deserves every bit of a 2 that we gave it.
Yeah, it does.
And it sucks to say because, like, you know, obviously they tried something different. There's really nothing else kind of like it, but there's probably a reason, because it's not very good. Obviously, I think Trick or Treat is 2008, 2009. So clearly you have that as a marker for an anthology.
Well, you know what's so crazy though?
What, bud?
There's so many of these VHS movies.
I think they're making a fifth one.
VHS 1999.
Which I'm going to see.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it too.
I have to watch it.
But I feel
Did you see the viral one?
I did not see viral.
That one's a little weird.
I think I saw 2.
It's intense.
Half of 2 so far, but I've seen 2 before. And I've seen 94.
So you started 2?
Yeah.
What's the first story?
I think the first story is a guy who has like an eye implant or something, and when he puts the implant in, he can like see dead people.
Oh, I remember that.
And he runs across a chick who can hear dead people.
Yeah. Before
she couldn't hear, she got the implant in. Now she can hear.
So did you get to the alien or the demon baby?
I was familiar with it before.
Are we making this up?
No, it's
in a VHS movie, right? Okay.
Part 2.
Okay.
But that story's fucking weird.
Which one? The one you were just saying?
No, the baby one.
The demon baby one?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the last one in that movie.
No, because I don't think I finished it.
You saw the demon baby one?
Yeah. I mean, I was halfway through. I don't know.
I thought it was last. The Alien one's really good too, though. But we're not talking about 2. I mean, I would love to, but
yeah, I don't want to talk about 2.
I don't either. So yeah, I mean, that's what VHS did for the J Squared Horror Podcast, guys. It sucks. It's bad. I don't even think we rated Bad Candy this bad because I could watch Bad Candy before I could watch VHS again.
I agree.
Yeah. And shout out to you, Scott Hansen, who did Bad Candy, because I was talking a lot of shit when we covered that episode, but then I rewatched VHS and it sucks very bad.
And Scott, if you're listening, when is this new movie coming out?
Yeah, when's Virginia Bitches coming out? Because I need a
we're here
rock and roll vampire chick movie.
Yeah, and we're here in Virginia. Be nice to have a hometown movie. Just saying.
Yeah, I would love to come to y'all's premiere. That'd be dope. I think he is in Georgia now or something. He's not here anymore. This is just what he calls home.
Was the movie shot here, you think?
I don't know. Who knows?
Or probably in Georgia.
Probably not. Yeah, no. You wouldn't move to Georgia to then come back up to Virginia to record movies. That would make zero sense.
Shoot your videos on any road, military highway.
Yeah, and Jerry's. Speaking of Jerry's, Sunday, September 25th, Jake and Josh of the J Squared Horror Podcast.
The moment is here.
Guys, we're here. The countdown is real. When you guys are listening to this episode, a couple days to prepare for the greatest horror trivia night of anyone's lives. It's going to be amazingly epic. It's going to be the greatest questions you could ever imagine. It's going to be at one of the best bars in our area with some of the coolest bartenders. We are so very excited to do our 5th overall horror trivia night at Jerry's on Indian River. We are very excited. So if anybody's listening, please come out. That'll be awesome. Let us know if you're fans of the podcast. Big shout out to our supporters. Jeff Balance, who does our design work. Lucky Riggs, who does our intro and our outro music. Trademark Printing, who does our printing needs. And a big shout out to Jake, who always doesn't mind sitting till 2 o'clock in the morning recording horror movie podcast, even on some of the shittiest movies we've ever watched.
Yeah.
Granted, we don't watch these ones together anymore. We do these on our own finally, and I feel like content has grown a lot since we've had a couple days to think it over. And this one really stung because it was my idea. I take this one as the L. We were both excited about it, but ultimately it was my call, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll just add this to Valentine.
That's yours. That's yours. Yeah. As a group, yeah, we'll just rough it on into Halloween 3 and Urban Legend. I guess Hush, because
no one watched that.
Nobody watched that episode anyway. No, we love our fans, man. We love all the interactions. Guys, don't be scared to comment along. We love talking to different fans and arguing points. If you think this is one of the greatest movies of all time, tell us, and we'll tell you you're wrong.
Yeah, you're 100% wrong.
1,000. We're in agreement too, so it's like even worse for you guys. But yeah, no, we love all of our fans. Thank you guys so much for always tuning in. This is the J Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh,
and I'm Jake.
You guys have a great week, and remember, it's hip to be squared.